Hello, everyone. Um, for this week's discussion, I will be answering question one. How would you describe the possible consequences of long term marijuana use to someone who believes it is harmless? And how does marijuana withdrawal differ from other substance withdrawals? Um, well, according to the text, marijuana has many potential consequences of long term use. Some are minor and some are quite significant. One of the consequences has to do with um, the ability, the motor skills necessary to properly operate a vehicle. And according to the text, it says that it impairs the motor skills necessary to safely drive a motor vehicle on about the same level as does a blood alcohol level of between 0.07 and 0.1%. I actually have a personal story about that actual consequence. A couple of weeks ago, I was in a car accident with my mother. I was driving along, and the person in front of me stopped. And so I stopped as well. However, the person behind me slammed right into the back of us, damaging their car significantly. Turns out that it was a young man, about 19 years old, and that he had been under the influence of marijuana at the time, which clearly affected his motor skills, his reaction time, and his depth perception, which caused the accident. And it could have been a lot worse. Thank God it was not. No one was seriously hurt in the accident. But that just goes to prove that it is, in fact, something that is possible happening when someone is under the influence of marijuana. Another consequence is the possibility of developing psychosis, to include schizophrenia. The text says that a study that was done with Swedish soldiers who used marijuana more than 50 times had a 670% higher incidence of becoming psychotic later in life than those who had not used at all. So that's pretty significant. It also says that if people begin to use before the age of 15, that they're more likely to develop psychosis or schizophrenia later in life. So that's a pretty significant consequence of the long-term use of marijuana. Now, as far as the withdrawal of marijuana versus those symptoms of other narcotics, they're not as dramatic as the withdrawal symptoms of alcohol or, other narcotics. However, there is a withdrawal symptom. There is withdrawal effects from marijuana. And some of these include irritability, anger, aggression, anxiety, depression, insomnia, unusual dreams, restlessness, sweating, nausea, tachycardia, decreased appetite, weight loss, and of course, a craving for marijuana, and vomiting. So, there are several withdrawal symptoms that do occur with marijuana. However, it seems as though is flu-like in its intensity and not as life-threatening as, say, withdrawal from alcohol. So that is my response for this week. Thank you for watching, and please post a response.